Hi, it's Elle here from Beyond Expectations. In this video, I decided to do something a little bit different. I decided to turn to trusty old Google and see what you ladies out there and gentlemen may have been asking Google about me. I came across some interesting things. I won't go through all of them because this video will be way too long, but if you find it interesting, I may do in the future. The first thing I came across is Elle's net worth. I think this is a pretty interesting question, so much so that John and I created a free ebook called Elle Ip's 3-step formula to transform your online business. Now it's completely free, no strings attached. If you'd like to grab yourself a free copy, you can follow the link down below, and I'll also put it in the video somewhere, and you can go ahead and pick that up, and that's going to give you all the information that you need. The other one that I came across was Elles Husband 2020. John and I have been married for over 18 years, close to 19 years. We've been together for over 20 years. Now, unfortunately, John has a chronic illness. If you have a family member, a friend, or you're someone who works in the medical community, you know that a chronic illness is difficult. It's hard on the individual, it's hard for the family members, it's hard for pretty much everyone involved. From the making of Beyond Expectations in 2010, John's health has deteriorated more. He needs more assistance from me. The girls also assist him with small things like getting drinks and getting meals, and they're really good. And I find that makes them incredibly empathetic in the overall global community with other human beings. And also for me, I find that I appreciate the small things. COVID-19, I felt like, brought people into more of my headspace, which is appreciating one another, appreciating time together, appreciating conversation, appreciating the little things, if you will, that we often take for granted. We don't think it's important and we brush it aside. We value family time. It is the number one thing in our lives. It's really important to us, and that's what we value. He supported me through my turbulent childhood, adolescence, young adult, and I support him during his hardships and his illnesses. And that's what a marriage is. That's what love is. You don't just pack up and run when times get tough. Look, I completely understand when people do that because it is hard. It's not easy. But in saying that, I've gone through tremendous hardship as a child, and it does make me more resilient. Not invincible, because I'm still a human being, but it does make me more resilient to deal with John's chronic illness. He's still alive, so that's good, and we're grateful for that. We love to spend time together, and we like to watch probably a lot of movies, a lot of TV. We like to do things that he's able to do, which is pretty much more of a cinematic view of the world, because unfortunately he can't get around. He uses a walking stick, and he does have like a Vespa type scooter if we are to leave the home, unless of course it's very short distances, then he can walk with his walking stick, but generally speaking he can't walk long distances. And I mean, the list goes on. I don't rave on too much about it here on YouTube because A, I don't want sympathy, B, everyone has hardship in their life, C, I mean, there's just so much going on, so much social injustice, it's just so much sadness. I don't want to add to that. And also D, I mean, I could keep going on and say the whole alphabet. I want to encourage you, inspire you, help you, and that's why we answer your questions. That's why we continue to encourage you, is because we want to be a source of inspiration and not a downer and not a pity party. So that answers that. John, my Elles Husband 2020. Now the next one I have is Elle Ip Fake. Now I'm not really sure what that means. I didn't see much pointing towards it. I'm a real person, Kiana's a real person, Kamika's a real person, John's a real person. I'm not exactly sure what that means. That's why we made a documentary, because you cannot fake children's age. 10 years ago in 2010 when we made Beyond Expectations, the technology just was not there. There is no way that you can CGI a child's face. There's no way you could even swap babies out. I mean, come on, people are not stupid. They're going to know these things. That's why we made Beyond Expectations in the way that we did. And we also made Beyond Expectations in a very real, raw, authentic way, something that the fitness industry hadn't seen before. I see that now it's more available. I see a lot of young women out there showing off their flaws, showing off their cellulite, showing off their imperfections and embracing them. And the just general fitness community as a whole is less about how they look, more about their mental health, and showing just the whole perspective of reshaping and transforming your body. But back in 2010, that wasn't done. It was very glamorous. It was very, oh, my life is fabulous, nothing bad happens to me, we're all young, fit and 20. It just wasn't there. So that's why we created Beyond Expectations in the way that we did. There was a lot of industry professionals that put a lot of pressure on John and I to make it like Biggest Loser or one of those type TV shows where it's very hypey, it's very fake, it's not what it's like in real life for a real woman like you and me to reshape and transform their body. It was just completely unrealistic, and we said no. We fought very hard for Beyond Expectations to be made in the way that it was, so that we could give you a very real, raw, and just let you see the dirty side of what it's like to reshape, transform your body, and now to maintain it for 10 years. I mean, Beyond Expectations for me is something that I'm incredibly proud of, and it's something that I've shown the girls. They're now older, they're becoming tweens, they're almost teenagers. Oh my goodness, it freaks me out to think that. And they can see that, you know, why Mummy did it. Mummy did it to inspire them, to show them that despite their life circumstances, they can overcome. They can be something. They can do whatever they put their mind to. And you know what? All they have to do is get up and try it, because if you have 2 arms and 2 legs and you're like me and you can move, anything is possible. And that is the mission statement that we have in Beyond Expectations, and you too can do that. Right, I feel like I'm getting a bit off track, so let's move on. Now, the next one was Elle Ip Instagram. I have so many people asking me, Elle, start an Instagram. Why aren't you on Instagram? Where's your Instagram? Let me catch my breath. First of all, it comes back to what I said in the last thing, which is things can be doctored, things can be faked, particularly with photos. I find that on Instagram, a lot of people use filters, a lot of people like to stitch in this and move that. That's really not for me. I'm not really into that, and I don't really do very well with photographs because I don't want to wear skimpy clothing. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to wear a bikini and all that, that's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I probably wouldn't feel comfortable wearing a bikini and doing some suggestive poses, which I've seen some women do. That's fine. If you're cool with that, you go, do you, boo, and live your best life. But for me, that's just not something that I would do. I don't want to be in bikinis or in string clothing, in suggestive posing, and it's a lot of what I see on Instagram, but not totally what I see. I see some other cool stuff too. But overall, it's just not really for me. I like video format because it's real and it's organic and I can just talk straight to you. What I find with Instagram, there's a lot of filters and there's a lot of things that can make you look different to how you actually look, and I don't feel like I'm being honest, and that's the truth. So that is why I personally don't do Instagram. Look, I think it's a great platform. I think it's fantastic, particularly if you're an artist, you paint, you draw, or you're someone who loves to take photographs, or you're someone who just has a fantastic vibe, and Instagram is for you. But unfortunately, it's just not for me. So if you'd like to stay in touch with me, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please leave me a comment, encouraging words, and this is my main source of interacting with you. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that I gave you some insight into the things that people have been Googling, and if you're also been Googling those things. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and do head on over and grab yourself a free copy of Elle Ip's 3-step formula to transforming your online business. John and I hope it's a useful tool. We hope you enjoy it, and we thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye!